Welcome to the Ranger's Respite. I'm Philip. Uh, Today, I'm reviewing one of the whiskeys in this week's polls, or a whiskey from a distillery that is in this week's polls. Sorry, eventually I will get that right. This video was supposed to come out yesterday, or rather last night, but I got distracted, didn't get around to it, so you're getting two today. And we're starting with the oldest operating distillery in the Commonwealth of Virginia, A. Smith Bowman. They're down in Fredericksburg. They used to be up in Springfield, Virginia, in Northern Virginia. Today, I'm specifically talking about Isaac Bowman, which is their port-finished bourbon. It is, in my personal opinion, one of the best port-finished bourbons on the market that I have tried. But changing things up a little bit, seeing if I get a little bit better traction this way. If you like seeing these videos and you want to help me continue to make these videos, I am selling small hand-turned wooden bowls that I make myself and hand-turned pens, some of which are made from bourbon barrel, some of which are made from other hardwoods, exotic and domestic. If you like to see more of this content, if you want to support me, that's the way to do it. There's a link in the description down below. And without further ado, let's get into the show proper. I've already got it poured in my glass. I waste no time. This is, of course, currently, I believe, $44.99. Let me double check that because it just occurred to me that I didn't. Stand by. I was correct. $44.99, which still puts it at a lower price point than the Angel's Envy. And I'm pointing like you can actually see it in this corner. You can't. Sorry. It is a better job of balancing the sweetness of the port with the sort of more bitter tannic bourbon. It is altogether a fairly cohesive whiskey on the nose. You've got those classic bright red fruits, some raisiny notes, an almost brandy note to it, wrapped around that nice dusty corn, that oak bitter, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of caramel, and just a hint of like sawdust, or like when you're ripping a board on a table saw and you get that like toasty oak smell. On the palate, it's a little bit more substantial than some of the other slightly lower proofed port finished bourbons. It's got a little bit of alcohol bite, and it's got a little bit of that like mouth drying alcohol feel, combined with a fairly well balanced sweetness, sort of counteracting the bitter tannin. A little bit of like that, vanilla caramel toasted marshmallow note that I seem to find on a lot of the port finished bourbons that I've tried. But it's well integrated. It's not overpoweringly port heavy, and it's not sort of the whisper faint that you see on some others. It is a nice, balanced, cohesive dram on the palate. Coming back to the nose. There's more of that like port, sweetness, and a little bit more intense red fruit and raisin. It's one of those things where once it's touched your palate and your brain has a better idea of what to look for in the nose. It sort of comes out a little bit more. It's also a wonderful color. Nice coppery, a little bit of redness, but still that very nice bourbony color. The finish is surprisingly long. It does turn a little bit sweet towards the end, a little bit more impact of that like bright red fruit. A little bit of sort of apricot out of nowhere at the very end, but still fantastic dram. Anyway, as usual, I answer 3 questions rather than giving a numeric score. So the first question is, do I like it? Yeah, actually I do. It's sort of the whiskey that kickstarted my interest in the various finished whiskeys that are on the market. It's the one that when we go, oh hey, maybe I do want to try, for example, Angel's Envy. And I think that it's one of the better examples of a port finished bourbon. Do I think it's a good value? Yeah. Honestly, with prices rising across the board, and this going from being reliably about $39.99 to increasing about $5 to $44.99, I still think that it's a pretty good value. Especially comparatively with things like Angel's Envy still increasing in cost. You get a dram that is equivalent, or in my personal opinion, higher value for a slightly lower price. And I think that that's one of the reasons that I can recommend it. Which brings me to the third question. Do I recommend it? Yes. I think that it's an interesting look at what a good, cohesive port finished bourbon is. There are other distilleries who make similar products, but everyone strikes a different balance. I like the Isaac Bowman balance because it is a nice, cohesive, even balance. There's a little bit of give and take on, a little bit more not sherry, a little bit more port on the nose, a little bit more bourbon on the palate, but it evens out to something that is, I think, one of the better balances on a port finished bourbon. That out of the way, let's do some housekeeping. Polls are still open. As of the recording of this, they will be open until Friday at midnight. Actually, on Twitter a little bit later, and I'm not sure about Instagram, but voting will be cut off at midnight. If there's a tie, there will be tiebreakers. But get your vote in now. Links will be in the description down below. If you are looking for a nice, friendly online community to talk about whiskey and other related topics, I'm a moderator of the Whiskey Lodge Discord server. We're a publicly accessible Discord server. You can come in, talk to us about whiskey, other related and unrelated hobbies. We've got a great team, a chill atmosphere, and we'll be happy to see you. That brings us to the end of the video. So, stay happy, stay geeks, sláinte.